Hello again, everybody out there on YouTube. I am back with another video, and this is going to be all of the new comic books, I'm rephrase that, or the new additions that I've added to my comic book collection over the last couple of weeks, or week or so. Actually, it's probably, about a week. I think it's been about 8 days or so since I did my last video, I think. So no, but this is between the last video and now. This is all the new additions I've added to my comic book collection, with a couple of trade paperbacks at the end, and then right at the end, I'm also going to show them off another branch of my collection I've just started, which is a little bit geeky, possibly a bit nerdy, you might say, but that'll be coming at the end. So, new comic books first. We start off with Howard the Duck number 7. Then we have the Mighty Thor 245, and whoever actually owned this before me was kind enough to put notes on the back. This is the first appearance of He Who Remains, which is on my notes. This is also the first appearance of the Protectoroids, and it is also the first appearance of Earth 794282, apparently. It's also apparently the first appearance of Earth 7635. So, yes, there we go. Please let me know below if any of that is wrong, but I don't believe it is. That's the Mighty Thor 245. I couldn't believe it when I got home with that one and scanned into my comic book app and it came up key issue. I'm like, whoa. I mean, that rarely happens to me. I rarely get that lucky. The Mighty Thor number 256. The Mighty Thor number 302. Whoops. The Mighty Thor number 307. The Mighty Thor number 311. Yes, you would have noticed by now that these are all in number order. I am that sad sap that will sit for like an hour and a half, putting all my comic books into number order. Yeah. The Mighty Thor 312. The Mighty Thor number 322. This one is in not such a good condition, but still, still perfectly readable. It's just unfortunate that it looks like a child at some point got written scribbled in the word Thor. But yeah, I must admit, this wasn't my LCS for a while, and I'm probably wasn't until I went back like fifth or sixth time I was like, you know what, no one else is going to buy this book purely because of the condition, so I will. The Mighty Thor number 384. The Mighty Thor number 401. The Mighty Thor number 443, guest starring Doctor Strange and the Silver Surfer. The Mighty Thor number 444. Itchy eye. And the last of the Thor books, the Mighty Thor number 446. I had to double check there. And now we get into my Uncanny X-Men collection, and two of these are key issues. So we start with Uncanny X-Men number 190, which I think I may have shown on the channel before, but just to double check. And now I know for a fact that all of these are brand new Uncanny X-Men books I've noted on the channel before, and I know that because I only got them yesterday from, and you're never going to believe this, given how good of a condition some of these are in, from my local market. There you go. Uncanny X-Men number 292. Uncanny X-Men number 293. Uncanny X-Men number 294, with Cable on the cover. Uncanny X-Men number 295. Double check my notes there. Uncanny X-Men number 296. Uncanny X-Men number 297. Uncanny X-Men number 298. Uncanny X-Men number 299, and this is one of the two key issues. And this one is the first appearance of Graydon Creed. A character I'd never heard of, but there you go. Uncanny X-Men number 299, first appearance of Graydon Creed. Uncanny X-Men number 301. Uncanny X-Men number 302. Again, another great Colossus cover. Oops. Uncanny X-Men number 303. Uncanny X-Men number 305. This is the other key issue. This is the first appearance of Phalanx. Yep, first appearance of Phalanx. There you go. Uncanny X-Men number 306. Sorry, my camera's gone all wonky. X-Men number 306. Uncanny X-Men number, and this is the last one, number 3, well not quite, number 315. Last of the Uncanny X-Men books. Uncanny X-Men, sorry, Uncanny X-Men number 446. And then we have Union Blood Hunt, Union Jack the Ripper, part 1, number 1. Blood Hunt, Union Jack the Ripper, number 2. There are only 3 of these. I've got all 3 of them. As I mentioned, I had all 3 of them. Blood Hunt, Union Jack the Ripper, number 3 of 3. There it is. And then I have Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, number 1. Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, number 2. Sorry, these do tend to move around a bit in these bags and boards. Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, number 3. And Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, number 4. Now, when I sort of first started comic book collecting about 2-3 years ago, when I first started comic book collecting about 2, maybe 3 years ago, one of the things I had in mind was I wanted to get a comic book featuring at least one comic book starring each of the 6 Avengers that we saw in that original Avengers movie. And I've got, as you've seen, I've got Thor, I've also got Iron Man, I've got Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, and then I have Black Widow and Hawkeye. Well, I've kind of cheated here because my local LCS had the first 4 issues of this. Black Widow and Hawkeye. So, there you go. 2 for the price of 1. So, Black Widow and Hawkeye number 1. Black Widow and Hawkeye number 2. Black Widow and Hawkeye number 3. And Black Widow and Hawkeye number 4. Then I have a series of books, some of the Ultimates books, the Ultimates. The first one I have is this one, which is Ultimate Comics, The Ultimates. This collects together issues 1 through 3 of Ultimates Volume 1. This was all I could find of the original Ultimates run in my LCS, apart from issue number 9, which is no good, really, on its own. So there you go. I then have nearly the whole run of Ultimates Volume 2. I'm missing them, just 3 issues from this, and they are 10, 14 and 15. Nevertheless, here we go. The Ultimates Volume 2, Issue 1. The Ultimates Volume 2, Issue 2. Ultimates Volume 2, Issue 3. The Ultimates Volume 2, Issue 4. The Ultimates Volume 2, Issue 5. The Ultimates Volume 2, Issue 6. The Ultimates Volume 2, Issue 7. The Ultimates Volume 2, Issue 8. I love this cover, Captain America in handcuffs. Although, wouldn't he just be able to break? Shouldn't he just be able to break those? You know, he's super strong. Wouldn't he just go? Oh, oops, it's free. The Ultimates Volume 2, Issue 9. The Ultimates Volume 2, Issue 11. The Ultimates Volume 2, Issue 12. And the Ultimates Volume 2, Issue 13, in less than stellar condition, but still perfectly readable. There we go, so you can see what I mean by that massive crease right down the front. But as I say, I don't buy my comic books to have them graded, I buy them to read them. Once you have a comic book graded and it comes back in that plastic coffin, you've basically taken away its sole purpose, to be read. Anyway, I then have House of Slaughter number 1, which I have already covered on the channel, but there is a reason for this, and that is because yesterday, also in my local market, I was able to pick up, again in amazingly good condition, House of Slaughter number 2, House of Slaughter number 3, and House of Slaughter number 4. I then have Amazing Spider-Man number 550, which is the first appearance of Menace, real name Lily Hollister. There you go. I then have PSI Force Giant Sized Annual number 1, which is the only annual that the I think PSI Force ever had, so there it is. That's my PSI Force collection. I then found the first 4 issues of this, another Marvel Universe title called Kickers Inc. Kickers Inc. So we have Kickers Inc. number 1. Clear miles? Yes, that's some good stuff. Kickers Inc. number 2. Kickers Inc. number 3. And Kickers Inc. number 4. And remember telling you in a previous video that I've fallen in love with the Submariner. Well, I discovered that my LCS has a, albeit small, comic book wall, and that's where I got these from, these next 2 books from. Prince Namor, The Savage Submariner number 65. And Prince Namor, The Savage Submariner number 66. I then, from the discounted boxes, managed to get Namor King in Black number 4 from 2021. I then have the West Coast Avengers number 13. West Coast Avengers number 15. The West Coast Avengers number 19. The West Coast Avengers number 24. West Coast Avengers number 27. Ah, I need a new bag and board. Okay, I'll store that at some point. A great time to discover that while I'm recording this video. West Coast Avengers number 31. West Coast Avengers number 32. West Coast Avengers number 33. West Coast Avengers number 36. West Coast Avengers number 37. And that's it, the West Coast Avengers. I then have some new Captain America books. I have Captain America number 231. Captain America number 248. So I was checking my notes then, just make sure that wasn't. So I've got Captain America key issue here, I was checking it wasn't that one. Captain America number 251. Captain America, and last of the solid Captain America books, Captain America number 275, which is a key issue as it is the first appearance, oh I think it's 275, is it? Sorry, I'm just checking my notes. Yep, this is the first appearance of Baron Zemo, or Helmut Zemo. So there you go. I then have 2 of these, Captain America and the Falcon number 184. And Captain America and the... oh my life. Sorry, do excuse me a second. Try that out properly later. Get in neatly for now. And Captain America and the Falcon number 196. I then have, rather an odd one, but still, Alf number 20. Just picked it up because it was in my LCS, it looked funny and it was cheap. I then have Excalibur number 21, first appearance of Crusader X. Even though my comic book app for some reason didn't read this as a key issue, it definitely is, because I double checked in all my research before doing this video. Now I literally picked it up. A, because it's Excalibur and I'm trying to build that collection, but also because it says introducing Crusader X, and that in Marvel speak is this is the first time this character has been in one of our books. I then have a new Black Panther book, also from the comic book wall, my local LCS, Black Panther number 10. I then have Captain Marvel number 39, which is the first appearance of Aaron the Rogue Watcher. And again, because I always go to my LCS with a list, and this was one of the ones on my list, so I picked it up. Got home, scanned into my comic book app collection. I'm thinking it'll remind me why when it comes up as a key issue, and it didn't come up as a key issue for some reason. But this definitely is. All the research I can do, this definitely is the first appearance of Aaron the Rogue Watcher. I mean, he's right there on the front cover, and every bit of research I've done, so even my Marvel Encyclopedia, which is something else I'm going to be showing in this video, says this is his first appearance. So, yep. I then have Marvel Premiere number 31, featuring excuse me just a second. Marvel Premiere number 31, featuring the man brute called Wood God. And this is actually the first appearance of Wood God. So there you go. And I then have Marvel 2-in-1 starring Marvel 2-in-1 featuring the Thing and Starhawk, number 61, and this is the first appearance of her, also known as Kismet. I then have Doctor Strange number 47. This is the only sole. This is the first actual Doctor Strange book I managed to pick up, because the rest of the stories I have are most of the Doctor Strange stories I have are at the back of like most of my big form comics, like a Doctor Strange story in them somewhere. But this is the first standalone Doctor Strange book I've managed to get my hands on, so I'd have to thank my LCS for that one. As I've shown in previous videos, I'm collecting the Ultimate Fantastic Four books, well, all the Ultimate books really, but starting here with Ultimate Fantastic Four. As I showed you in a previous video, I was able to get issues 1 through 15 of Ultimate Fantastic Four from my LCS, all on the same day. Well, last time I was in my LCS, I managed to pick up number 17, and then just yesterday, again at my local market, I was able to pick up issue 18, and issue 19. And again, another great cover of The Thing, my favourite member of the Fantastic Four. I then have, again, I think I may have shown some of this before, but I'm not too sure because I've added a lot of new ones to this part of my collection. Ultimate Spider-Man 51. Ultimate Spider-Man 52. Ultimate Spider-Man 53. Ultimate Spider-Man 54. Stay. Ultimate Spider-Man 55. Ultimate Spider-Man 56. Sorry, ooh, that was a bit close. I'm sorry, I'm going to move that to my side, because I don't know if I need my notes anymore, but or possibly for one more. But I'm going to move that to my side so I can start putting those there. I don't want to get so close to because I'm not particularly facially nice. Ultimate Spider-Man 57. I said I can't remember which of these I've shown, which of these I haven't, so because I know I've definitely got some new ones in here. And one I'm particularly proud of. Because I didn't think I'd be able to get it quite as quickly as I have. Ultimate Spider-Man number 58. Ultimate Spider-Man number 59. Ultimate Spider-Man number 61. Ultimate Spider-Man number 63. Ultimate Spider-Man number 64. Ultimate Spider-Man number 65. Ultimate Spider-Man number 66. Ultimate Spider-Man number 67. Ultimate Spider-Man number 72. Excuse me a second, try neaten these up a little bit. There we are. Ultimate Spider-Man number 74. Ultimate Spider-Man number 75. I found the front there, it's like 75th issue. So I also have to say, blimey, we didn't expect this book to run this long, but it has. Brilliant. Ultimate Spider-Man number 76. Ultimate Spider-Man number 77. Ultimate Spider-Man number 78. Ultimate Spider-Man number 79, which is in fact the first appearance of Ultimate Moon Knight. See, I remembered that one. Yep. And again, that one needs a new bag and board. What a brilliant time to find that out. Ultimate Spider-Man number 80. Yes, sorry, just double checking. Number 80. There is Ultimate Moon Knight on the cover. So that's his first cover appearance and first cover appearance of Ultimate Moon Knight, I believe. Was that 80? It was. So I've jumped 2 here. Ultimate Spider-Man number 83. Again, another Moon Knight. That's Moon Knight on the cover there. And the last in the Ultimate Spider-Man collection at the moment, and this is the one I was proud of because I didn't think I'd get this one quite as quickly as I did. And it's Ultimate Spider-Man number 100. Because in my experience, when you're collecting these sort of comic books, the hardest ones to get are the Drid, what I call the Drid numbers. 100, 200, 300. The ones that are 100 dead on. You know, the double zeros. So, yeah. Unfortunately though, this is Clone Saga Part 4, so I need like... Which would mean that 99 was Part 3, 98 was Part 2, this is Part 4, then 99 was Part 3, right? So this is Clone Saga Part 4, then Clone Saga Part 1, then issue 99 was Clone Saga Part 3, 88 was Clone Saga Part 2, alright, sorry, I guess 99 was Clone Saga Part 3, clearly. Clone Saga Part 2 was 98, and 97 was Part 1, so 97, 98, 99, to get the first 3 parts, but yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man issue 100. And lastly, for the new comic books, we have my Ultimate X-Men collection, which I think I've shown 58 and 59 before, but I have lumped them in, just so that the numbers flow naturally. But I have actually added a whole load of new ones since my last trip to my LCS on Thursday, just gone. And so we start with Ultimate X-Men number 40, which is actually the last issue I have any any notes about here. Excuse me, I need to have another drink, sorry. Ultimate X-Men number 40, which is the last issue about which I have any notes, because this is actually a key issue in the Ultimate X-Men series, being the first appearance of Ultimate Angel. Not only his first appearance, it's also his first cover appearance, so it's a bit of a 2-in-1 there. There you go. Ultimate X-Men number 41. Ultimate X-Men number 42. Ultimate X-Men number 43. Ultimate X-Men number 44. Sorry, 45. 44. I'm going to try that one again. Ultimate X-Men number 45. I'm glad I noticed that. Otherwise, I would have a comment from somebody going, "You realise that's 45, don't you, mate? You said 44." Sorry, Ultimate X-Men number 45. I don't have 44 yet. I'm still looking for it. Ultimate X-Men number 46. Ultimate X-Men number 47. Ultimate X-Men number 48. Ultimate X-Men 50. Ultimate X-Men 52. Ultimate X-Men 53. Ultimate X-Men 55. Ultimate X-Men 56. Ultimate X-Men 57. Ultimate X-Men 58. Ultimate X-Men 59. So I knew I'd shown those two before, but I wanted them in there so the numbers flowed. And then finally, and then last three. Ultimate X-Men 66. It's also called Phoenix Rising. I love that title. It says Phoenix Rising there, but then it's actually called Date Night Part 1. But anyway, 66. Ultimate X-Men 67. And the last Ultimate X-Men books, Ultimate X-Men number 68. Sorry, of course it's 68. I'm a bit bugger. I thought I'm going to read that Date Night story because it looks good. And I got to the end of that one and I go, oh, I haven't got 69 or 70 yet. I think in the Ultimate Universe, quite a few stories, once they started on multiple part stories, they were like multi-parts, so like Hollywood Part 1, Ultimate Spider-Man, they were like 6-part stories. Because I know with Ultimate Fantastic Four, I can talk about this because I've read the first 6 issues. First 6 issues, issues 1 to 6, are called the Fantastic, and they are basically It's the next bit that's starting about it. And they are issues 1 to 6 of Ultimate Fantastic Four are called the Fantastic, as I've already just said. And they are basically the origin story of the Ultimate Fantastic Four, told across 6 parts, which I thought was brilliant. Split the origin up, and of course they move at a good pace, and then it gets to the end when you go, and you find out what happens next. So, yeah. So, this next part, I picked these up in my LCS, and I am a bit of a geek as well, and also a bit of a Trekkie. Yeah. And the Star Trek that I grew up on was Star Trek The Next Generation. And so in my LCS, they actually had a whole pile, a whole nice collection of the Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, a whole pile of issues. As well as that, I've left them over there, unfortunately, in the other side of the room, but some of these actually still had the original posters, big wall posters, still attached to the staples inside. So I've taken those out carefully and put the staples back down. So anyway, we have Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek The Next Generation magazine. We have issue 2. Issue 3, Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, issue 3. Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, issue 4. This time I keep around the numbers, I'm not going to mess up like I did earlier. Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, issue 5. They're saying volumes, I'm saying issue, because they are issues. Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, issue 6. Data, my favourite character. Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, issue 8. Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, issue 9. There's a weird thing. Issue 9, Dr. Crusher. And on the front cover of Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, issue 10, is her son, Wesley Crusher. There you go. I think that was a brilliant piece of. I think that was deliberate. You could say that was coincidental, though I think that was deliberately done. Whoops. We then have Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, issue 11. There's another of my favourite characters on the front there. Geordi LaForge. His cool eye visor. Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, was that number 10 or number 11? Number 11. Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, issue 12, and on the front of here we have the supremely beautiful Councillor Deanna Troi. And then on the front of, was that 12 or 11? 12. Sorry, Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, issue 13, has a picture of the whole crew on the front. It's also featuring Whoopi Goldberg, whose character I don't seem to remember, so I don't think I got to that episode, but yeah. Or, it's not that I didn't get to it, I don't remember it, because I did actually watch the whole of Star Trek The Next Generation when I was growing up. Something that me and my granddad used to watch together, actually. So, yeah. Although on that one, I just realised Wesley's in a red uniform. So there we go. Then we have issue 14 of Star Trek The Next Generation magazine with Deanna Troi, Dr. Crusher and Whoopi Goldberg on the front. And I'm saying Whoopi Goldberg because unfortunately I don't remember her character's name. Yep. Then we have issue 15 of Star Trek The Next Generation magazine, and we have Lieutenant Worf, and I'm assuming that's his wife and child on the front cover. I also love that this is a slightly pinky cover as well. I like that. I have flicked through these briefly, but I must go and read them. I must read them properly at some point. We don't know, was that 16 or 15? 15, so sadly 16 is missing, but I have issue 17 here of Star Trek The Next Generation magazine. And on the front cover of this one we have Patrick Stewart as Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and also the legend, the late great, and I'm going to show off a little bit here, Leonard Nimoy, live long and prosper, as Spock. And I believe that is still from one of the movies. I could be wrong. I'm actually now seeing the first 3 of the original Star Trek movies. I need to go back and actually, because I've got them on VHS and that's how I'm watching them. I need to go back and watch the rest. Yep, there we go. I'll do that again for you. Live long and prosper. The old Vulcan salute there. I love doing that. It does hurt, but I can do it. I was 17. I then have issue 18 of Star Trek: The Next Generation magazine. And on the front here we have Spock, Picard, Data. Actually, they've got all their names. Spock, Sealer, Q, O'Brien, Saren, Ro, Picard, Oksana, Data, and Hom. It looks remarkably like Christopher Lloyd, but I don't think it is. That's issue 18 of Star Trek: The Next Generation magazine. Do you know what? I wish I'd known about this when I was a kid. Because I'm telling you now, if I'd known about this when I was a kid, growing up and watching this with my granddad, I would have instantly started picking this up. Because the thing is, it's only ran for 30 issues, and I'm only missing a few. So there is every single chance that I could complete this collection. So, issue 19 of Star Trek: The Next Generation magazine, and as I mentioned earlier when we saw that image, that cover of Data with Sherlock Holmes, Data is my favourite character. On 19, front cover of issue 19, there is Data, front and centre. Brent Spiner, of course, played Data. There he is, front and centre. Love that. I wonder if any of these magazines talk about how long he spent in makeup. That's when I did the makeup chair for that. Issue 18, sorry, issue 20. It was 19, wasn't it? Dickhead. I'm so sorry. I said my first curse word on YouTube. I am a dickhead sometimes. Anyway, so we've got issue 20 of Star Trek: The Next Generation magazine, and this one has Forge, the Forge on the front. I've had like puzzle pieces in the front there, and there are actually questions there. Where was the Enterprise built, and what is Q's IQ? And I'm assuming the answers are somewhere inside the magazine. We then have issue 21 of Star Trek: The Next Generation magazine, and this is, I'm assuming this thing on the front is a Borg. If I've got that wrong, please do let me know, because I do like being, when I get things wrong, I love being corrected and told, no you idiot, it's this, or that. I love that. So, because I always like to have the right information, you know. So there we go, Star Trek: The Next Generation magazine, issue 21. Star Trek: The Next Generation magazine, issue 22, and on the front here we have Lieutenant Riker. Well, no, not Lieutenant Riker. Commander Riker. Sorry, Jonathan Frakes. Commander William Riker. Star Trek: The Next Generation magazine. Again, that's 22. I'm missing 23, 24, 25 because we go straight to 26. And again, it's another great cover with Data on the front. And it says here, even more Data. Brent Spiner explains what it means to be android. Brent Spiner as Law? He played 2 characters? Interesting. I obviously forgot about that. Star Trek: The Next Generation magazine, issue 27. And on the front we have, I actually have no idea who this is. Interesting, it does say here on the spine, display until April 13th, 1994. Oh, hang on. Torith. There you go, actually says in small writing on the front. Torith on the front. Played by Carolyn Seymour. We then have issue 28 of Star Trek: The Next Generation magazine. Again with Dr. Crusher on the front. We then have issue 20. I then have issue 29 with a picture on the front, which has on the front cover a picture of one of the best villains in all of Star Trek, in my opinion, Q. And if you remember earlier, I actually said that Star Trek: The Next Generation magazine. Do you know what's great about this issue? Is that I'm also a gamer, and on the back it has an advert for the Star Trek: The Next Generation Echoes from the Past game on Sega Genesis. There you go. And remember I said earlier that this magazine only ran for 30 issues. Well, I actually have issue 30, the final issue, and it says here, deluxe 100-page final issue. end of the TV voyages. So that's the final issue of Star Trek The Next Generation magazine. So like I said, I'm only missing a handful of these. So there is every chance I could actually cobble together, if I was looking at the right places, the entire collection of all 30 issues of this magazine. And I'm going to try. Oh, and on the front is again another whole crew picture with Commander Riker, Dr. Crusher, Captain Picard, Councillor Deanna Troi, Lieutenant Geordi LaForge, Lieutenant Commander Data, and Lieutenant Worf. Right, that's those, and then also new to my collection are this Mighty Marvel Masterworks Fantastic Four, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and this collects together issues 1 through 10 of the Fantastic Four from the 1960s. Also, I have two more new trade paperbacks to me that I actually bought from a friend. She was kind enough to sell them, and she was kind enough to sell them to me for £10 the pair. So, if that friend is watching, thank you for these. The first one is Marvel Platinum, the definitive Shang-Chi, and this collects together X-Men. So this is here on the back here, collecting X-Men Volume 2, issues 62 to 64, Wolverine First Class, issue 9, Shadowland, Spider-Man, issue 1, Master of Kung Fu Volume 2, issues 1 through 4, Master of Kung Fu Volume 1, issue 126, and The Legend of Shang-Chi, issue 1. Written by Scott Lobdell, Ben Raab, Fred Van Lente, Dan Slott, Hayden Blackman, CM Punk. So is that, I'm assuming that's CM Punk as in the wrestler, somehow turned into a magazine writer, and Alicia Wong, with art by Carlos Pichetto, Francis Portela, Paolo Siqueira, Dalibor Talajic, and Andy Tong. I must collect some of his, because my LCS has a whole load of Masters of Kung Fu issues. I must pick those up over the next few times that I'm in there. I must do that. And then the other one that friend sold me is the What If Miles Morales trade paperback, which brings together, which is here in the back actually, reprinting What If Miles Morales issues 1 to 5. So there you go. And again, thank you to that friend for selling those to me. They're just £10 for the pair. See, that's what having good friends can do. And again, if that friend is watching, thank you. Just a couple more things to go. I have this Marvel Earth's Mightiest Heroes, The Avengers, The Ultimate Character Guide. Pick that one up. And I also picked up, I think I showed this off in a previous video, my Marvel Encyclopedia updated and expanded. This one. Well, just the other day, I picked up in a charity shop for £2, which isn't bad. It's actually very good for a book this size. The Marvel Encyclopedia, the Marvel Encyclopedia, the definitive guide to the characters of the Marvel Universe, updated and expanded. 70 years of Marvel, 70 years of Marvel Comics, and here it is. It's huge. And this actually covers, I believe this covers a lot more characters than that smaller one, and it is quite substantially larger, as you can see. So, there's that. And that is all that I have for this video. That's all the new comic books I have, and again, one more time, thank you to that friend who sold me those two amazing trade paperbacks for just £10 the pair. Thank you. And yeah, if I have, sorry. I believe that pretty much all of those comic books were new ones, apart from maybe a few of the Ultimates books that I had in fact shown before, and maybe a couple of the Thor ones as well. But I only showed those again just A, so the numbers would flow, and B, because I couldn't remember which ones I hadn't shown before. So thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. I would particularly like to put an emphasis on please comment. because I do love it when I get comments, particularly comments that correct me on information that I may have got wrong, or yeah, just I like all comments, good, bad, indifferent, positive, negative, totally indifferent. I like all comments, so please like, please subscribe, and please definitely comment. And to that friend, if you're watching, you saw me those 2 trade paperbacks, I would particularly like to see your comments on what you think of the collection so far. As I said once before, as I've said before in previous videos, each time I get add new additions to the collection, I will be doing, excuse me, each time I add new additions to the collection, I will be doing videos like this, just to let you know what those new additions are. So again, thank you for watching. Like, definitely comment, and also please do subscribe. And yeah, this is now the new direction of the channel. From here on out, it's going to be comic books and magazines. That's it. Thank you, and until next time, peace out.